Hello and welcome to Story Time with Mr. Hyland. Today, I'm going to be reading a book called The King Who Banned the Dark. It's a really fantastic book, and I know Year 1 in my school have also done this. A really exciting one. So let's begin. There was once a little boy who was afraid of the dark. There's nothing so unusual about that. Most children are afraid of the dark at one time or another. But this little boy was a prince. And he decided that when he became king, he would do something about the dark. He would ban it. On the first morning of his reign, the king told his advisors about the plan. With the greatest respect, Your Majesty, if you ban the dark just like that, the people won't understand. They'll revolt against you. But if you make them think that it's their idea, it might just work. And so, the advisors started to spread rumours about the dark. The dark is scary. The dark is boring. You can't play in the dark. Read all about it. Read all about it. The dark is stealing your money. The dark is taking your toys and sweets. The people had never really worried about the dark before. But all of a sudden, it started to seem like a really bad thing. Said the king. Very well. From now on, the dark will be banished from this land. And because everyone got what they thought they wanted, everyone thought they were happy. To make sure that it would never be dark again, an enormous artificial sun was installed above the palace. Left a bit, right a bit. Even when the real sun set, the artificial sun kept shining. All day and all night it glowed in the sky. Curtains were taken down. Anti-dark hats were issued. Lamps shone from every window 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The people stayed up all night celebrating, which was easy because it never got dark. But soon, the people were tired of celebrating. In fact, they were just tired. With the lights on all the time, no one could sleep at all, and with no real night time, the days dragged on forever. The people had made a mistake. They realised pretty quickly that they needed the dark back. But if anyone tried to switch their lights off, the light inspectors would make them pay a fine. As the king tried to sleep under the glare of 100 light bulbs, he heard shouts from outside the palace. Don't worry, Your Majesty, said the advisors. What we need is a distraction. To get people excited about the dark ban again, the advisors decided to throw a big party. Celebration of the dark ban with fireworks! The brightest thing of all. But the people weren't as silly as the king's advisors thought they were. Whisper by whisper, they hatched a plan. On the night of the great celebration, the king stood on the roof to watch the fireworks. But the sky was so bright that when the first firework went off, nothing could be seen at all. The king sighed. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the kingdom, a house switched off its lights. The light inspector knocked on the door. There's one here. At that moment, the lights in the house next door went off. And the lights in the house next to that. And the house next to that. More. The same thing was happening on the street next to that. And the street next to that. The sky began to dim. The light inspectors began to panic and called for backup. All the guards at the palace rushed to help them. And that's when, with the palace unguarded, a small group of people climbed up the walls and switched off the very last switch. The sky went dark. The king shuddered. "We must turn the sun back on, your majesty," shouted the advisors. "We must crush the uprising. We must punish the people." "Shh," said the king. "Look." The lights had gone out just in time for the grand finale. Instead of punishing anyone, the king lifted the ban on the dark. And now every year on the same night, the people set off fireworks in the darkness to remind themselves of what they almost lost. The king is still sometimes a little bit scared of the dark, but he sleeps with a nightlight on these days. If only he'd done that in the first place, this whole mess would have been avoided. And that is The King Who Banned the Dark. Fantastic, excellent, but they're for kids and adults, really, actually. Brilliant one. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for another story.